The fallout after a Separatist petition is quashed by a judge.
The fight has just begun, and we're ready for it.
Could an independence vote happen no matter what the court says? Plus, protecting vulnerable neighborhoods as flood season begins.
And the City of Calgary is in a better position than it's ever been to deal with flooding.
A brand new barrier to keep high water out of Sunnyside and Hillhurst. And Midway treats to tickle the taste buds.
And it has dragon fruit and chipotle pineapple with tahini on top.
Let me give it a try. That's fantastic. That's really tasty.
What are you brave enough to try at this year's Calgary Stampede?
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. The battle over a Separatist petition is heating up again today. Just 24 hours after a judge threw out the petition, Danielle Smith says she could use the notwithstanding clause to ignore the courts and push it through. It's an issue that could impact the Premier's political life, according to some experts. Tyson Fedor will tackle that angle for us. But we start our team coverage tonight with Tim Brooke. And Tim, the Premier is feeling some pressure from all sides on this one.
Well, Tara, the Separatists are mad, as you can imagine, because a judge quashed their petition. And on the other side, First Nations are mad because they still feel like their rights are at risk here. Now, Premier Danielle Smith said today she'll be reconvening her caucus next week, or her cabinet next week, rather, to discuss her next steps. But then she maybe hinted at what's to come by mentioning the notwithstanding clause. It's the last day of the legislative session, but the Alberta separation conversation is far from over.
We believe the decision is incorrect in law and that it's anti-democratic.
A judge's ruling that a Separatist petition is invalid has the Premier up in arms. That judge pointed to a lack of consultation with First Nations. The Premier says she'll appeal, and if that doesn't work,
Section 33 allows for notwithstanding clause so that when the court makes errors in law, it can always be overridden by democratically elected legislatures.
Danielle Smith claims Indigenous consultation would have followed a yes vote. It's an argument that could be the crux of her taxpayer-funded appeal.
It will be a process argument as opposed to a substantive argument.
The Premier said last year that you can't vote away treaty rights. Legal experts agree, calling this decision the very definition of democratic as it protects the Constitution.
Lots of people disagree with the courts, but there's a line, in my opinion, that can be overstepped here that increases polarization and attacks the independence of the judiciary.
You're going to continue to appeal and attack judges, calling them liberal judges, that they're subverting democracy, and until you finally get your way. When you get a sympathetic judge, then we'll appeal.
And on the last day of session, there's still no update on the delayed Forever Canadian petition, which is stuck in a committee. A vote on whether Alberta should stay in Canada wouldn't technically require a duty to consult First Nations, as it wouldn't change the province's current situation.
We'll leave the committee work and the diligent work of the members there in their court, and they can deal with it.
The Separatists want the Premier to call her own separation vote. The PM hopes it won't come to that.
As someone who was raised in Alberta, proud Albertan, I view that very much the best place for Alberta is in Canada.
Legal experts tell me any sort of appeal here by the province would take months, if not years, to complete, and it's entirely possible it ends up in the Supreme Court of Canada. Keep in mind here, when Quebec voted on separation, it never really put that duty to consult First Nations argument to rest. So we could see here other provinces, maybe other Indigenous groups get involved to finally get some answers and some clarity on this subject.
Okay, Tim, thank you. Now, this issue could create some challenges for Premier Smith as she tries to keep everyone in her party happy. Tyson Fedor joins us, and Tyson Smith will be trying to figure out how to bridge that gap between the UCP Federalists and Separatists.
Well, Tara, political watchers we spoke with saying that Alberta independence within the UCP amongst its party members could be as high as 50%. That could spell trouble for the Premier, whether or not the question of separation is on a referendum ballot in the fall, or even if it's not. This time, some believe that the Premier has a very difficult decision to make at this time. However, her party will continue to support her. In November 2024, Premier Danielle Smith received a resounding vote of confidence from United Conservative Party members, with 92% supporting her leadership. But since then, a separation movement has created a divide in Alberta, including the mounting support for it from UCP members.
This is something that can topple leaders. This is something that can destroy parties. And this is something that Danielle Smith has been playing around with that is finally going to burn her.
Smith continues to advocate for a sovereign Alberta within a united Canada, but with a judge's decision to toss a separatist petition out the window, she has a decision to make.
A wide tent party would mean a party that includes people that may support the separatist view and people that are federalists. And, that is a challenge that political leaders will face.
Former Premier Alison Redford says Smith and her government have done a good job facilitating the process through citizen-led initiatives. But many separatist groups in Alberta are demanding she include the question of separation on the ballot in October.
Does she see her role as being to take a position on this and advance that position? Or is it to facilitate the process?
She's lumping a pro-federalist agenda with a pro-separation agenda and being very disingenuous in doing so. So Premier Smith is in real trouble.
The Premier's office deferred any comment on her political future to her remarks on Wednesday.
We have now 700,000 Albertans, whether they're on the Remain side or the Leave side, who've said that they want to have this public debate.
The reason she panders to the Separatists, because if she doesn't, her party will split and she will no longer be the Premier.
For Calgarians, they are split on whether the Premier should include the question or not.
If this is a way to make the federal government understand, maybe that's the right way to go.
I think that it's not in the interest of the province, it's in the interest of a small percentage of people, and we're all Canadian.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The UCP says it fully supports Smith as leader following her high approval rating from members and double-digit leads over the NDP in public polls, with approval ratings not seen since Ralph Klein. Danielle Smith and Mark Carney say they will make an announcement tomorrow in Calgary about their landmark energy deal stemming from their memorandum of understanding signed in the fall. Neither Smith nor Carney shared any details today, but a source with knowledge of the discussions has said the governments are expected to announce a plan to raise Alberta's industrial carbon emission price to $130 per ton by 2040. The memorandum of understanding signed last year saw the two governments commit to a number of steps to eventually have a bitumen pipeline built to the West Coast. BC Premier David Eby had this to say this afternoon.
I had the opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister this afternoon about his MOU with Alberta's Premier. I am hopeful to be able to meet with him again next week to follow up. We're reviewing the details the Prime Minister has provided about what's in the MOU in terms of implications for British Columbia, the most significant of which relate to the carbon tax.
The agreement, expected to be revealed tomorrow, would force Ottawa to be more lenient with other provinces, too, that follow the federal price, because a judge has ruled that all jurisdictions need equal treatment for carbon pricing. The Alberta government will bring in a new rate cap for auto insurance when its new system launches in 2027. Under the Care First system, insurers will pay compensation rates set by the province for injuries instead of drivers suing each other. Under the new rate cap, insurers will not be able to raise average rates by more than 5%. Also, all average drivers will see their premiums capped at a 10% increase when they renew their policy. That replaces the good driver rate cap. The province says drivers with basic insurance coverage will save an average of $366 per vehicle.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Well, it is that time of year when Calgary rivers are most likely to swell and spill over. And the city has another tool ready now to keep rising water away from two communities. This is a live look this Thursday night at the Bow River. You can see that the water levels have risen recently as the snowpack starts to melt. Calgary's flood risk is considered normal this year, but the city says it's more prepared than ever should the rivers overflow. Alicia Philberg has more about the new protections and this year's flood forecast.
As Calgary enters flood season, a barrier along Memorial Drive is ready, and so are city staff as they check water levels and forecasts around the clock.
We have weather forecasts that come out every 6 hours. We may have less than 24 hours between when it starts raining in the catchment and when we would see flooding in Calgary.
Calgary's highest risk of flooding is between May 15th and July 15th, when both rain and melting snow from the mountains raise water levels. Should that happen, this barrier can protect the communities of Sunnyside and Hillhurst. It's a nearly 2.5 kilometer long wall with the tallest sections over 3 meters. The steel and concrete barrier includes adjustable sections to close gaps across roads and paths.
It'll be a matter of hours. About 3 to 6 is our estimate. Sunnyside's a low-lying area, and so there was a need for a barrier to prevent the river from breaching as it did in 2013.
In June 2013, heavy rain combined with a late snowpack melt caused the Bow and Elbow to overflow, displacing more than 100,000 people and causing an estimated $5 billion in damage in Calgary and southern Alberta. Experts say above-average snowfall in the mountains this winter is not a significant cause of flood concern.
Snowpack by itself generally only contributes about 15 to 20% of large flood peaks. It really is widespread rainfall that tends to drive river flooding.
But should flooding occur, the city says it's never been more ready, thanks to $1.3 billion of upgrades since the last flood.
And that has removed about 71% of the damage profile that we saw back in 2013.
Along with flood protection, upgrades to the pathway system aim to make the space better for everyone to enjoy. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
The work on the Sunnyside flood barrier is complete, but further construction work could impact the nearby road and pathway. The city is also working with the province to build a new reservoir upstream of the Bow within the next decade. Well, we're probably going to add a little bit of water to the rivers this weekend, Danielle, because rain is certainly on the way.
It is on the way, even mixed in with some wet snow for many communities. Temperatures plummeting to the freezing mark. So if you're planning on doing some gardening, keep that in mind, because a lot of the plants you'll have to take inside this weekend. And if you're camping, well, you need to pack some warm stuff, the parka even. 17 degrees is the temperature right now. Gust at this point, the airport, 57 kilometers per hour. We got up to 70 earlier today. We have the potential for 60 kilometer per hour gusts through the evening hours. This subsides to 40 overnight and picks back up to 40. So still a little windy tomorrow, but a lot more reasonable in comparison to what we had today. Tomorrow's really just a normal day. Some sun with some cloud cover, late day showers or a non-severe thunderstorm certainly possible. It's as we get into long weekend that this weather statement is in place, and Calgary is included in this because snowfall is on the way. I'm going to talk more about this and what you can expect coming up, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. We are now less than 2 months away from the Calgary Stampede, and if the food is what draws you to the Midway, then this story is for you. From a ramen donut to Spam fries to a cookies and cream Korean dog, more than 60 new creations will come to Calgary, alongside, of course, your favorite staples. Our Jordan Canagan braved the bold flavors in the Stampede Taste Test.
Well, the Calgary Stampede isn't just concerts and cowboy hats. For many people, food is their favorite. And the new Midway food selections for 2026 have everything from sweet to salty to crunchy and somewhat quirky.
So we have the crunchy, crispy corn a cup, which is a twist on Mexican street corn, which the exhibitor has added in crunchy dried mealworms.
Alongside mini donuts and corn dogs, exhibitors are always looking for a twist. How about a giant salmon sushi or coconut crusted fried chicken? Maybe a pizza slice deep fried in corn dog batter.
Who doesn't love a deep fried food, and who doesn't love a cheese slice? So it was really just a matter of figuring out how to come up with a original deep fried version of a classic cheese slice that was worthy of the Calgary Stampede.
To wash it all down, maybe a drink.
So it is a Sprite base, and it has dragon fruit and chipotle pineapple with tahini on top. If you like a little spice, you can do the tahini. If you don't, you could do it without.
Excellent. All right, let me give it a try. That's fantastic. That's really tasty. Several creations feature trending flavors such as matcha or Dubai chocolate.
It's so important to have the variation that you see here because there's not one dish that's going to satisfy everybody. We're all about diversity, introducing new flavors, and the exhibitors have a blast. They really take it away, work all year to come up with these creative twists, bold flavor combinations, and classic Stampede fun.
Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
All right, mark your calendar. The Stampede runs from July 3rd to 12th. An update on a grocery store shooting earlier this week. Police say they're looking for a white SUV after 2 men were shot, one fatally. They now need your help. And a quarter of Canadians have declined a vaccine in Alberta. It's even higher than that. That's next. Calgary police have released security photos of an SUV they believe is connected to a shooting outside a grocery store this week. A white SUV was seen outside the North Hill Co-op Monday night. One man, believed to be the intended target, was killed. Another man, an innocent bystander, was injured and remains in hospital. Police say the shooting was likely linked to organized crime. The passenger side window on this SUV was partially broken and taped over. Police want to hear from anyone who might recognize that vehicle or who has dash cam video as the driver took off eastbound on the Trans-Canada Highway. People gathered at the Confluence in Calgary today and marched for the Moose Hide campaign. The Indigenous-led initiative is a national day to stand against gender-based and domestic violence. Organizers say half of all women in Canada have experienced some kind of physical or sexual violence by the age of 16, and spousal violence against Indigenous women is 3 times higher compared to non-Indigenous women. The campaign is targeted at boys and men to become involved in the conversation and stand up and speak out against violence.
I think historically, when you think about who is standing up and speaking out about gender-based violence, it has historically been women. So to have more men stand up and call each other out, hopefully that is a way to end gender-based violence.
More information can be found at moosehidecampaign.ca. We have an update tonight on the condition of a child hit by a pickup truck yesterday. A young child suffered only minor injuries after being struck on Castle Ridge Drive. Police say the child was conscious at the scene. The driver of the truck was not charged. More than half a dozen people are left without a home after an overnight fire in the Northwest. When fire crews arrived at the home at Sherwood Crescent just after midnight, the blaze had already spread from the back of the house up to the roof. Winds gusting up to 40 kilometers an hour were also reported, helping push the fire to 2 adjacent homes. The fire department says quick action by firefighters prevented that inferno from spreading even further, even as the wind changed directions.
It does always add an extra challenge, and that's part of our concern that it could rapidly escalate or the fire can get a lot bigger. So we were able to keep it at a single alarm response.
The Source home was destroyed beyond repair, leaving 7 people without a house. The 2 adjacent homes were left with minor damage, and the homeowners were able to return. Nobody was injured, and the cause is under investigation. But fire crews are reminding people to properly dispose of smoking materials. Some evacuees are now allowed back home after a wildfire threatened Whitecourt earlier this week. Crews are still doing safety assessments in some areas before all residents are allowed back. The fire, which covers more than 50 hectares, is classified as being held, meaning it is not expected to grow beyond its current boundaries.
This is CTV News Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in as we start looking toward our long weekend, and there is a lot of inclement weather in there.
Yes, there is. And if you've been checking out your phone and a bunch of different websites, they're all telling you different things for your long weekend. And that's because none of the models are in agreement at this point, because temperatures will be dropping to the freezing mark. So how much will fall as rain? How much will fall as snow? And when will this system be able to gain some steam? Because it's going to start developing right over us. So there's a lot going on with this system. I'm going to give you the most likely scenario. 17 degrees is the temperature right now in Calgary, 19 for Brooks, 17 in Medicine Hat, 13 Pincher Creek, and boy, has it been a windy day. We talked about wind warnings in place. 91 was the max in Lethbridge, in the 80s for Pincher Creek and Medicine Hat, 70s for Brooks, and close to 70 for Calgary and Drumheller. These winds are already starting to calm down in many communities. And as we get into the late evening hours, we're looking at gusts getting down to 40 kilometers per hour, maybe even 50 for some spots. 40 to 50 kilometer per hour for late tonight and through tomorrow as well. So it will still be windy at times tomorrow, but a lot more reasonable than what we've had today. So these warnings, this wind warning will end tonight. You can see this, though. This is what the big thing is for long weekend. So in this darker green color, or this light green color, Calgary is included in this. It's basically Innisfail to Calgary, down to Claresholm. Pincher Creek is included in this, up through Kananaskis, and then up to Jasper. This is because snow is possible, and in some isolated areas, snow could be actually quite intense. I know, May long weekend. All right, this is system number 1 that we've already basically dealt with. You can see how organized it is in that counterclockwise spin. Outside of this, the winds forcing air to rise is creating that convective activity. And so we have these showers popping up and even some non-severe thunderstorms along the Trans-Canada. That will start to die down in about an hour or two. But we have that same potential on the side of the system once again for tomorrow, later in the day especially. Tomorrow will be pretty much a normal day. There's a small chance of an isolated shower, Calgary and down Highway 2 in the morning hours. The greater chance of seeing any of that activity is late afternoon and through the supper hours, and this is indicating even the potential for some thunderstorm activity. All right, let's get into Saturday. So late Friday night in through Saturday, it will be most intense and most likely wet snow for areas to the west of Calgary. Calgary and all along Highway 2 will be right on the edge of that wet snow development, which is why it is hard to forecast how much we're going to get here. This will be very consistent, which is why high elevations to the west of Calgary could actually pick up 20, even 30 centimeters of snow. And then it will be isolated and on and off for every other community. Temperatures will drop significantly. So here's a look at one of the models suggesting over 20 centimeters of snow. Banff town site, about 5 to 7 centimeters, Canmore as well. But again, higher elevations, you are looking at those higher amounts. Okotoks could pick up a couple centimeters of snow on Saturday as well. For Calgary, 2 to 4 millimeters of rain late day tomorrow. And then for Saturday, 2 to 4 millimeters of rain possible with wet snow mixed in. 5 degrees is your high for Saturday and Sunday. Overnight lows at that freezing mark, making camping a little bit tricky. Absolutely. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
A new online survey released to mark World Vaccine Day suggests nearly a quarter of Canadians have declined to get a vaccine recommended by their doctor. The data from Proof Strategy shows most people declined the vaccines over concerns about potential side effects. Albertans were the most likely to refuse a recommended vaccine at 35%. People with a high school education or less were more likely to decline a vaccine than those with a university-level education. Tinnitus affects almost 40% of Canadians every year. It's a ringing in the ears that can be debilitating and even life-threatening in rare cases. Pauline Chan reports.
I first thought that it was my loud refrigerator and didn't realize, in fact, the hissing sound was coming from me, from my ears.
Jim Gray first experienced tinnitus in 2020.
Tinnitus is the perception of sound that is not actually in the environment.
I often couldn't concentrate. It was doing a number on my mental health. And I couldn't sleep at night without taking heavy medication.
It was so bad he feared he might end up taking his own life, like a few severe tinnitus patients he had read about.
I try to manage it through exercise, through diet, through acupuncture, even tried some cognitive therapy, which was helpful, but didn't attack the underlying problem.
Almost 37% of Canadians have experienced tinnitus within the past year.
Audiologist Maria Simone says tinnitus is often connected with hearing loss due to aging or loud environments. And in the absence of sound, the brain becomes hyperactive in certain regions. Last year, Gray traveled to the U.S. to try a new device called the Linear. It pairs sound from headphones with stimulus from a tongue-tip device.
It's completely changed my life. Within 3 days of trying the Linear, my tinnitus had been reduced by 90%.
Bimodal neuromodulation. Now that's a mouthful, but it basically means that bimodal means that we stimulate two senses at once, and neuromodulation means it makes changes in the brain.
CEO Ross O'Neill says the device has just been approved by Health Canada and is already used across Europe and the US.
The most important thing is that tinnitus patients get into the care of an ENT or audiologist, and then they can decide what is the most appropriate treatment for them.
Right now it costs several $1,000s, but the manufacturers hope the Linear will soon be covered by insurance. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Siksika Health Services is bringing several services under one roof as part of its annual health fair. More than 60 booths were set up at the Deerfoot Sportsplex today. The First Nation holds the event as a way to bring together community members, health teams, and local artists for a full day of connection and wellness. This is the 23rd annual event, and organizers say it's expanded from just 6 booths in previous years.
So we have local Siksika Health departments, local Siksika Nation entities. We have visiting organizations that we work with, the universities, the hospitals, everything and anything under the sun. We're not turning anyone away.
Scalelock says they find a lot of success bringing services to the community and meeting people where they live. Ottawa says its newly announced national electricity strategy will lower energy costs for most Canadians. But some worry about the lack of details. Will it be better for consumers in the long run? And meet the newest member of the Washington Nationals, ready to get to work. A black bear took a bit of a wrong turn this week, wandering from the forest into Vancouver's east side. Patrol officers contained the animal until conservation officers were able to tranquilize it. The bear was later released back into the forest. A long-awaited national electricity strategy was announced today by the Prime Minister. It's a significant plan to double the grid by 2050 and in the process transition to a low-emission economy, create jobs and bring consumer costs down. CTV's Abigail Beeman breaks down the proposal and whether it can be accomplished.
The Prime Minister amped up to deliver a long-awaited electricity strategy with a plan to double Canada's capacity.
As our industries expand, our economy grows, AI accelerates, electricity demand in Canada is expected to double by 2050. So we will double our grid.
The government estimates the expansion could add 130,000 high-paying jobs by 2050.
This announcement in electricity, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest announcement since, well, electricity itself.
Canada's current electrical system is complex and siloed. The Prime Minister concedes it's often easier to trade power with the United States than interprovincially, costing Canada billions.
Tying our grids together, and that will be that will be essential, and that's where the federal government has to come in and help the provinces make good choices that work strategically for the nation.
To help build and power an expanded grid, Mark Carney is proposing more flexibility to scale up natural gas, especially important in Western Canada, by loosening Trudeau-era clean electricity regulations.
It is a betrayal of the years of time that was spent with stakeholders and utilities and Indigenous nations on developing the federal clean electricity regulations.
He re-announced the same electricity plan that the Liberals have used over the last decade to jack up the cost of power bills by 35%.
While the government promises this expansion will eventually lower bills, it also puts the price tag at more than $1 trillion overall and couldn't provide any details about a breakdown or who would pay for what. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The Fairy Tales Queer Art and Film Festival is returning to Calgary this week. Organizers tell us how the festival has evolved since it first began nearly 3 decades ago. The Fairy Tales Queer Art and Film Festival is returning to Calgary this week, bringing together filmmakers, artists, and audiences from around the world. The 28th annual event is sparking conversations about identity, resilience, and what representation really means. Mark Villani has more.
That's me. That's who exists.
It's a story about a young trans woman and the emotional fallout of being outed against her will.
She basically has a confrontation with her psyche.
Veronica Garcia plays the lead role in the short film Snakeskin. It's one of more than 40 productions from 20 countries featured at this year's Fairy Tales Queer Arts and Film Festival.
Everybody's experience is like so fantastically unique. Ultimately, all we've got is each other, so we got to embrace that as much as possible.
It's the 28th annual running of the 5-day event held at Contemporary Calgary. Mayor Jeremy Farkas opened the festival Wednesday night.
28 years of creativity and 28 years of telling stories that matter.
This year's lineup features films like Star Walker, about a two-spirited performer navigating identity and chosen family in Vancouver's drag scene. Warla, a Filipino crime drama centered around gender-affirming surgeries, and A Place Where I Belong, highlighting the LGBTQ+ and disabled communities' fight for inclusive spaces. From documentaries to shorts and feature-length films, the festival covers a broad spectrum.
We wanted to make sure that each of the acronyms in that 2S LGBTQIA+ were represented, and we were able to hit that goal as well, which is very exciting.
Live performances and panel discussions are also creating deeper conversations amongst audience members.
I've heard it's the first time I didn't feel shame in a public space hearing my story.
And amidst Alberta's removal of certain books in school libraries, along with hostility in creative spaces, some say these festivals are about the true freedom of expression.
I think that it's a really powerful time now, but it has always been, to tell our stories in their fullness and to celebrate our resilience.
People are amazing and will absolutely show up for you.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
The Fairy Tales Queer Art and Film Festival runs through Sunday at Contemporary Calgary. For more details, you can go to our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca. Okay, well, as we keep hearing, the FIFA World Cup is coming. It's now only a month away. People are getting excited, but you're probably going to need some snacks to watch all that soccer. So Lay's is releasing something fun. Chips. Bacon poutine. That's going to be Canada's flavor. Richie Laria and Nathan Saliba on the front of that pack. France's Thierry Henry is on the cheese souffle flavored bag of chips. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Steak and chimichurri. That's Argentina. Lionel Messi on that bag. And of course, classic cheese and onion. That's England. David Beckham on that bag of chips.
You know, we have that Chip Friday, so let's get some people to start buying these and put them in there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a good Chip Friday in the newsroom.
Yeah, they're going to start going on sale in Canada in mid-May. So maybe not this Chip Friday, but next Chip Friday. We're going to see if we can get those in the newsroom.
All right.
The MLB's Washington Nationals announced the newest member of their team, and he's already a fan favorite. Yeah, this is Natty the pup, an 8-week-old golden lab retriever mix. He's already stealing bases and stealing hearts in the Nationals organization. He had a full day that included getting a feel for his new ballpark, a press conference, obviously, a photo shoot. Little Natty was wiped out by the end of it. He'll be with the team for 18 months as he trains to become a service dog.
Oh, wow,
that is a great idea.
Yeah.
He'll be exposed to everything, lots of people, lots of noises.
The only thing to make an organization better, a little pup like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, did you ever have a sibling who gave you the silent treatment?
Yeah.
It's kind of infuriating.
Wanna be my friend? Wanna be your friend? Aww. You don't want to talk to me.
This is Sienna. She's only 2. She doesn't understand why her sister won't talk to her. She's asking, do you want to be my friend? And then she got no response. And the video goes on. You hear her mom say, no, she's only 2 weeks old. She does want to be your friend, but little Sienna was not convinced.
The little one's like, get out of here, I'm napping.
Yeah. That is a very cute video.
Yeah.
Honda slams the brakes on a multi-billion-dollar EV plant. The impact to Honda's bottom line is just ahead in our business report.
Oh, Skywatch weather camera, it's still bouncing around. Why? You know why. It's been windy, maxed around 70 kilometers per hour in the city with regards to gusts today. We got to a high of 18. We're now sitting at 17 in the city, also 17 in Medicine Hat, 16 in Lethbridge, and 19 in Brooks. Drumheller still at the 20-degree mark. All right, here's a look at maximum wind gusts today. We talked about this already. The winds are starting to calm down in most communities, and by the midnight hour, we'll be down to 40 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts for most communities in southern Alberta. So things are starting to ease. This is the system we've been dealing with. This is why we have these strong winds on the outside edge and that little bit of instability down the Trans-Canada towards Medicine Hat. Next 24 hours, not a whole lot to talk about. It's just a fairly decent day tomorrow. Temperatures around normal. Chance of an isolated pop-up shower later in the day. We may even see a little bit of a sprinkle in the morning, but the greater chance is late afternoon and through the supper hours, a high of 15 for tomorrow. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. Okay, so the wind warnings are starting to end, as you can see here, because it was encompassing Drumheller before. This is really the statement in place to talk about for Saturday. And the reason we're talking about this is because there's heavy snow expected. Now, that's most likely high elevations. Banff townsite, Canmore looking at about 5 centimeters. Higher elevations looking at 20 to 30 centimeters. Calgary will be on the edge of it, so we will get on and off showers. A lot less consistent in Calgary, more consistent off to the west. So for Calgary, it's on and off, or for most communities in southern Alberta, it's on and off moisture through the long weekend with a little bit of wet snow mixed into that. Tara?
Danielle. Premier Daniel Smith may once again use the notwithstanding clause after a judge threw out an Alberta Separatist petition. For now, Smith says the province will appeal the court decision. The judge ruled the petition shouldn't have been issued under provincial law, and the government neglected its duty to consult First Nations. Smith calls the ruling anti-democratic. Jeffrey Rath, lawyer for the group Stay Free Alberta, says the decision violates principles of natural justice. The chief of one First Nation that fought against the petition disagrees.
I don't understand why Mr. Rath would say that they don't have to consult with the First Nations because says he's a constitutional lawyer.
The Prime Minister says the best place for Alberta is in Canada. Honda confirmed today that it shelved its plan to build an $11 billion EV project in Canada. BNN Bloomberg's Marla Fernandez has more.
Honda says evolving business conditions and shifting consumer demand are to blame. Both Ottawa and Ontario had promised $5 billion to finance the project. Honda says it hasn't accessed any of the funds. Honda also reported its first ever annual loss today of $2.7 billion US. Its shift away from electric vehicles are mainly to blame. The Japanese company and other car makers have taken big hits, with the U.S. no longer supporting EV strategy. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar up a fraction to 72.86. West Texas Intermediate barely changed at 101.17. Western Canadian Select is down to 79.71. And the TSX gained 226 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Public libraries in Alberta say a new bill passed by the government is unnecessary. The Coalition of Alberta Public Libraries says Bill 28 may even force some libraries to close. The group says libraries can't afford to build separate spaces to ensure children don't read adult material. It says they already have policies to organize collections in age-appropriate ways. The librarians also say the UCP government never consulted with them about the changes. Bill 28 has already passed third reading in the legislature. Cavalry FC is starting the season strong. They take their unbeaten streak to BC this weekend, and Glenn has that story for us next. The Royal Canadian Mint unveiled a new $1 coin today, celebrating the World Cup in Canada. It was designed by BC artist Glenn Green, and it features an orange and red maple leaf mosaic and a soccer ball with Toronto and Vancouver written underneath. 3 million of these special loonies are now entering circulation, turning everyday change into a piece of World Cup history. Those look great. The Edmonton Oilers are looking for a new head coach. Glenn is back with us. Glenn, we reported the rumor yesterday. Today it is official.
Tara, Chris Knobloch is looking for a new job. The Oilers relieved him of his duties this morning. The Oilers had plenty of success under Knobloch. He took them to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals where they would lose to the Florida Panthers. This year, they seemed to take a step backward. They were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by the Anaheim Ducks, and the team felt it was time for a new voice. No replacement has been named. Assistant Mark Stewart also shown his walking papers. The 108th PGA Championship underway just outside of Philadelphia. 4 Canadians in the field at this year's event. Let's check out some of the highlights. John Rahm, he went out early this morning, par 3/8, and Rahm will chip this one in for the bird. That got him to 1 under par, and that's where he would end up after the opening round. Scotty Scheffler is the defending champ. He dials up from long distance for the birdie on the par 4 7th. Scheffler drains that one to get to 1 under par, He's always so steady. Shane Lowry now on the par 5 ninth hole. This is third shot. This one headed right for the pin, and the eagle has landed. That would get Lowry to 1 under par. Two-time PGA champ Justin Thomas had a great opening round. Par 3 8th hole, and he sinks that one through the bird to get to 3 under, where he shared the lead with many. All right, what about the Canadians? Corey Connors with the hot start. Makes a birdie on the par 3 for 13th to get to 3 under par. He had a share of the lead at that point. 7 players tied for the lead, including Scheffler. They're all at 3 under par. Good news for the Canadians. Connors, your top Canuck. He fired a 2 under 68. Nick Taylor is 1 under. Cavalry FC travels to BC this weekend to try and keep their unbeaten record intact against Vancouver FC.
Camden Fail, who stutters to keep himself on, and Dan Klopp has slipped in.
It's been a fantastic start to the season for Cavalry FC. They have 3 wins and 2 draws in their first 5 games. This weekend, they take on Vancouver FC, who are off to a 1-1-3 start.
And they look like they have belief. They look like they have togetherness. So it's going to be a tough battle. They're not an easy team to break down, and they're starting to find their goals. So it's going to be a tough one for us away on the road.
While it's a big game this weekend, Cavalry is also looking forward to their next test in the Canadian Championship. With their win against Pacific FC, Cavalry advances to the quarterfinals, where they'll once again face the Vancouver Whitecaps.
I mean, for me, it's a cup competition. So regardless if you're playing Whitecaps or if you're playing Pacific, I think it's, you just need to win and you need to find whatever ways that are in your power and your control to get the result. So I think we'll approach that game the same.
Cavalry has had some success against the Whitecaps in the past. They've always played them tough and have 3 wins against the Whitecaps.
I think they're a team that we want to challenge ourselves against. So it brings that kind of fire out in you, and always nice to kill a giant, right?
Cavalry knows facing and beating an MLS squad is good for the league and good for Cavalry.
It's just another measuring stick, right? It's to see how far we've come. Obviously, we had success with them in year 1, but having consistent success against MLS teams that have a much larger budget than you, it's a good sign for the league when teams from all around the league are actually beating MLS teams.
The first leg will be played in Vancouver July 8th, and then they'll return to ADCO Field for the second leg on July 13th, and tickets are on sale.
Thank you, Glenn. Okay, well, the long weekend is not looking great, but we're not there yet, right? Like, we've still got a day. Maybe things will change.
Yeah. Tara wants to throw those papers at me right now, and I get it. So do I. All right, tomorrow is kind of just a normal day, just pretty much normal temperatures, late day showers, or even a non-severe thunderstorm is possible. We may even run into an isolated shower in the morning, but pretty quiet in comparison. Saturday and Sunday daytime highs of just 5, overnight lows around that freezing mark. So we are looking at mainly rain, but there will be some wet snow mixed in. There's a chance of that in the city Saturday morning, then again late Saturday night, and then through Sunday morning. We're not looking at picking up a bunch of snow here. That's off to the west, especially the high elevations in the mountains. Then things get better as people pack up the trailers and head back home, unfortunately. All right, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Roy Miller sent this in. This is the south end of Calgary. Look at all that green.
Lovely. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.